Located to eastern and southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News Weekend Edition.
Good morning, I'm Connor James. Today is Sunday, June 30th. An addiction recovery group from Winchester, Achieving Recovery Together, and Spark Ministries in Hazard hosted an event in downtown Hazard yesterday. They called the event Rumbles of Hope. WYMT's Katie Cook explains how the day's events made an impact on people struggling with addiction.
I've been in several different rehabs before, but never for the right reason. Honestly, in my heart, I was ready to make a change in my life.
Shedding hope of recovery to others.
And I've been in recovery for 5 years. I just celebrated my 5th year sobriety.
Through a fun day of cornhole, good food, and to top it off, a motorcycle ride.
I mean, it's going to be absolutely beautiful riding through these mountains of Hazard.
The voice you heard earlier, the one talking about change, was David Tobin. He, along with others, shared powerful testimonies about their addiction recovery.
There's always that one person that you're going to help, and just to change one life is worth it.
Letting others who may struggle with addiction know that they are not alone.
Because I know what it's like to be out there. And I think everybody needs a little bit of support.
This event focused around faith.
We have a huge drug problem in this area, and we know that the only way that it's going to be overcome is by the blood of Jesus Christ.
And breaking stereotypes.
Just because you're in recovery doesn't mean that you don't have a life and that you don't have any hope.
By using bikers as a symbol that there can be good in all things.
There's a lot of people, they don't put the connection between bikes and Jesus. You know, they always think bikers are bad, but they're not.
So revving up their engines and starting their journey through the mountains, they are inspiring others to start their own journey towards recovery. In Perry County, Katie Cook, WYMT Mountain News.
Both Achieving Recovery Together and Spark Ministries serve to help those struggling with addiction. If you or someone you know faced addiction, you can find more information about those organizations on our website, WYMT.com. And the London Corbett Airport hosted their annual Airplane Day yesterday. With activities going on all around the airport, nothing about this day was plain. Airplane and helicopter rides were available around the city of London, and the portion of the money raised goes to the local United Way summer food program.
It's basically a way for the city around here, for the people in the area to come out and see what's at the airport. There's so many people around here that don't even realize the airport's here, that we just want to get the word out. And
Singer says visitors are welcome to stop by anytime for a tour of the airport and can even check out some of their on-site planes. Now let's check in with meteorologist Kelly McShane for a look at your forecast this morning. And Kelly, good morning to you.
Good morning. I'm smiling very bright this morning, and the sun is shining very bright as well. You can go ahead and see that here on our Whitesburg cam. A little bit of fog, but besides that, plenty of blue skies and sunshine across the region. You can see that here on satellite and radar. Pretty calm conditions. A little shower moving towards Rowan County, but shouldn't be too much more than just a little shower. So overall, we are starting off on a dry note, but a little bit of fog into Perry, Letcher, Harlan, and Bell County this morning. So be mindful if you're traveling anywhere through those counties. Give yourself a few extra minutes and just be mindful that you may run into that patchy fog. And we are already off to a warm start. Mid-70s in Prestonsburg this morning, already up to 77 degrees in Moorhead. Going to be a warm one and already starting out on the warm side. Here is your 12-hour plan, and we're going to start off with sunshine, a few clouds popping up as we head to about noon, and then we could see a few showers and storms this afternoon. I'll break down those chances in my full forecast in just a little bit, Connor.
All right, thanks, Kelly. Well, many say music from the mountains is special. The Mountain Arts Center hosted the 29th annual Billie Jean Osborne's Kentucky Opry Saturday night. More than 350 people filled seats to watch the show. Opry director Clayton Case says one thing that makes the show unique is that there's a little bit of something for everyone.
If you've seen the show before, you're going to see something new every time you come to a Kentucky Opry show. And so if you think you've seen everything that we have, just come back and give us another try, because the Kentucky Opry never ceases to amaze.
Now, if you missed Saturday night's show, don't worry. We have a full schedule on our website of those shows, WYMT.com. Now, weeks after his emotional testimony before Congress, a 9/11 first responder died Saturday from complications of cancer linked to his time spent on Ground Zero. As Melissa Rainey reports, he spent his final weeks pushing lawmakers to help others first responders.
Luis Alvarez, a 9/11 first responder who fought for benefits for other 9/11 first responders, died Saturday in hospice care. He was 53.
We were there with one mission.
Alvarez made headlines just a few weeks ago. He appeared before Congress alongside comedian Jon Stewart, delivering an impassioned plea to extend the September 11th Victim Compensation Fund.
You all said you would never forget. Well, I'm here to make sure that you don't.
Alvarez, a NYPD bomb squad detective, was among the first responders who went to the World Trade Center on September 11th. They spent weeks breathing in noxious air clouded with debris from the collapsed buildings. New York officials told them at the time it was safe, but many have since been diagnosed with debilitating illnesses and cancers.
When they get sick, they die. It is my goal, and it is my legacy to see that you do the right thing for all 9/11 responders.
Alvarez received a standing ovation for his testimony. He will be honored with a funeral organized by the NYPD and the United States military. I'm Melissa Rainey reporting.
In other news, Governor Matt Bevin and Democratic Attorney General Andy Beshear are fighting over Capitol office spaces as they clash in the race for governor. Through a public request record, the Lexington Herald leader obtained a June 26 letter in which finance officials informed Beshear's office that Bevin's administration will move into the 2 first-floor rooms occupied by Beshear employees, with Beshear's workers receiving 2 basement rooms. And another unusual round of diplomacy for President Trump. He's offered to shake hands with Kim Jong-un at the DMZ and hit the reset button with China. Weijia Zhang is traveling with the president to Seoul, Korea.
President Trump arrived to Seoul today with a warm welcome from South Korean President Moon Jae-in, but it's North Korea on his mind.
We're going to the DMZ. I said, while I'm there, I'll shake his hand. We get along.
Just hours earlier, the president used Twitter to invite Kim Jong-un to meet him at the DMZ, the demilitarized border between the North and the South. Mr. Trump said he would even cross over, something no U.S. president has ever done.
Sure, I would. I'd feel very comfortable doing that. I would have no problem.
President Trump acknowledged the meeting would produce little more than a handshake, with talks to denuclearize Pyongyang at a standstill after negotiations fell apart in February. A North Korean official called the DMZ proposal a very interesting suggestion. At the G20 summit, the president worked on a high-stakes trade deal with Chinese President Xi Jinping. He said Beijing agreed to buy more goods from American farmers, and the U.S. will make it easier for Chinese students to obtain green cards.
We will be continuing to negotiate, and I promise that for at least the time being, we're not going to be lifting tariffs on China.
Mr. Trump faced many questions about why that tough talk went missing when he spoke with Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman about the killing of journalist Jamal Khashoggi.
Nobody so far has pointed directly a finger at the future king of Saudi Arabia.
But his own CIA concluded the Crown Prince ordered the murder. The president also defended this exchange with Russian President Vladimir Putin, in which he appeared to poke fun at Moscow's meddling in U.S. elections.
Now, this was the first time the 2 leaders met since the Mueller report was released. And Democrats are out gathering support ahead of potentially facing President Trump in the 2020 race. Beto O'Rourke talked to local activists and immigrants this weekend in Houston, Texas. O'Rourke has made immigration one of the central issues of his presidential campaign. He has outlined an immigration plan.
You take into account that over the last year, 7 children have died within U.S. Department of Homeland Security custody. And so without the transparency, much of which was forced by members of the press and the media, you don't get the answers and you don't get the accountability. And these operators can act with complete impunity.
He says he would also issue an executive order to require detention only for those with criminal backgrounds representing a danger to our communities. Well, coming up on Mountain News this morning, in our medical headlines, the CDC explains why the recent flu vaccine did not work so well.
It is the last day of June, and we have a hot and humid forecast featuring a few storms possible. I'll explain the storm chances coming up next.